The only 10 things that really work to reduce fat and get a flat stomach. Losing fat is one of the biggest goals for most people who go to a gym. Let's be honest, who doesn't want to have a defined stomach? But this is an extremely challenging goal. Every inch of belly loss requires significant effort, hours of training, regulated eating, and lots of discipline. And the most frustrating part? Seeing all that fat return quickly the first moment you fail in your diet. One pizza on the weekend, one extra dessert, and there goes all your effort. That's why today you'll see 10 things that really work to burn that stubborn abdominal fat. Stay attentive until the end because strategy number 7 is the most important of all. First of all, we need to break a popular myth, the idea that spot reduction exists. You've probably heard that to lose belly fat, you need to do hundreds of abdominal exercises every day, or that specific exercises for a certain region will burn fat exactly from that area. Well, none of this is true. Science has already proven that the human body doesn't work that way. When we enter a fat-burning process, the body mobilizes fat stores from all over the body, not just from one specific location. You lose fat even from the sole of your foot. It's basically as if the body had a single bank account system for storing fat, and when it needs to spend, it withdraws a little from each place. The problem is that some areas, such as the abdomen in men and the hips in women, are regions where the body tends to store more fat for evolutionary and hormonal reasons. And ironically, they are also the last areas to lose fat when we are in a caloric deficit. So instead of focusing only on abdominal exercises, we need to adopt a complete approach that accelerates metabolism and promotes fat burning throughout the body. Now that this is clear, let's begin. Strategy number 10. Maintain a moderate caloric deficit. Let's be direct here. There is no fat loss without a caloric deficit. As much as there are fad diets promising miracles, the first law of thermodynamics cannot be circumvented. If you consume more calories than you burn, your body will store the excess as fat. However, not all caloric deficits are created equal. A common mistake is to adopt a very aggressive caloric deficit in hopes of faster results. Something like, I'm going to eat only 1,000 calories a day and lose fat quickly. This is a big mistake. When you drastically reduce caloric intake, your body enters an alert state. It interprets this sudden reduction as a sign of food scarcity and triggers survival mechanisms. Your metabolism slows down, thyroid hormone production decreases, hunger increases, and, most worryingly, your body begins to break down muscle proteins to use as energy. You may not even notice it, but such a lack of energy will make your body even talk less and gesture less. The result? You lose weight, yes, but a significant percentage of that weight loss comes from muscle mass, exactly what we don't want to lose. A moderate caloric deficit allows your body to adapt gradually, preserving muscle mass and focusing on fat burning. Studies show that a deficit of approximately 20% of your maintenance needs offers the best balance between efficient fat loss and muscle preservation. In practice, this means that if you need 2,500 calories to maintain your current weight, a good target would be to consume about 2,000 calories per day. This would result in a loss of approximately 1 pound of fat per week, a healthy and sustainable rate. To calculate your caloric needs, the best option will always be to visit a nutritionist, but you can also opt for online calculators. Strategy number 9. Prioritize protein intake. Proteins have the highest thermic effect of food. This means your body spends more calories to digest and process proteins than carbohydrates or fats. We're talking about approximately 20 to 30% of the calories ingested being used just to process the protein itself, compared to 5 to 10% for carbohydrates and 0 to 3% for fats. Second, protein is fundamental for preserving muscle mass during the weight loss process. When you're in a caloric deficit, your body seeks energy from wherever it can, including your muscles. Consuming adequate amounts of protein sends a signal to the body to preserve muscle tissue and focus on burning fat. Third, protein provides greater satiety. One study showed that increasing protein intake to 30% of daily calories reduced hunger and caloric consumption by about 441 calories per day. In practice, try to include a quality protein source in each meal. Good options include chicken, fish, lean meat, eggs, milk, yogurt, cottage cheese, whey protein, and for vegetarians, tofu, chickpeas, lentils, and other legumes. As a reference, aim to consume between 3.5 to 4.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight daily when you're looking to lose fat. Strategy 8. Practice aerobic exercise regularly. The most direct benefit of cardio for fat loss is the increase in caloric expenditure during the activity. Depending on the intensity and your body weight, 1 hour of running can burn between 400 and 800 calories. These calories contribute directly to your daily caloric deficit. However, the benefits go far beyond this immediate expenditure. Regular aerobic exercise improves your body's ability to mobilize and burn fat during exercise and even at rest. This happens because aerobic training increases the number and size of mitochondria, as well as the amount of enzymes that transport fat to be used as fuel. Cardio also significantly improves insulin sensitivity, allowing your body to use glucose more efficiently and reduce fat storage. This is particularly beneficial for reducing visceral fat, that deep fat that surrounds the abdominal organs. There is also an important psychological benefit. Aerobic exercise stimulates the release of endorphins, reduces stress, and improves mood, which can help avoid emotional eating. In practice, aim to include at least 150 minutes of moderate aerobic activity per week, distributed over 3 to 5 sessions. You can vary between different modalities to maintain interest. An effective strategy is to combine low-intensity, long-duration cardio like walking with shorter, more intense sessions like HIIT throughout the week. This variation maximizes fat burning through different mechanisms. Strategy 7. Incorporate strength training. If you still think that cardio is the only way to lose fat, I have news that will change your life. Strength training is still your biggest ally in this journey. As we discussed in the topic where we addressed moderate caloric deficit, what really matters is not just losing weight, but losing fat while maintaining or even increasing muscle mass. The explanation is simple. Muscle is a metabolically active tissue. This means that even when you are in complete rest, your muscles are consuming energy. For every pound of muscle mass, your body spends approximately 6 calories per day just to maintain it. Crazy, right? In addition, strength training generates what we call EPOC, excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. In simple terms, your body continues to spend calories at an accelerated rate for up to 24 to 48 hours after an intense weight training session. In practice, include at least 3 to 4 strength training sessions per week, focusing on compound exercises that work large muscle groups, such as squats, deadlifts, bench press, pull-ups, and rows. Don't be afraid of weights. Many people, especially women, avoid training with heavy loads for fear of getting that too muscular look. But the truth is that without using steroids, it is extremely difficult to develop voluminous muscles. Before we continue to the 6th strategy, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Having constant access to correct and science-based information is what will make you progress in the long term in the world of bodybuilding. Strategy 6. Avoid heavy meals at night. You've probably heard that old maxim, breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a pauper. Although simplistic, there is a scientific basis behind this popular advice. Our body follows a circadian rhythm, a biological cycle of approximately 24 hours that regulates various processes, including digestion and metabolism. During the day, our body is programmed to process food more efficiently. As night approaches, this efficiency decreases. When we consume heavy meals at night, especially those rich in refined carbohydrates and fats, we are providing a large amount of energy at a time when our body is reducing its caloric expenditure. The result? Much of these calories end up being stored as fat, with a special predilection for the abdominal region. Studies on nutritional chronobiology show that the same food can have a different metabolic impact depending on the time it is consumed. For example, carbohydrates consumed in the morning are more likely to be used as energy during the day, while the same carbohydrates consumed at night have a greater tendency to be stored as fat. Heavy meals at night can also interfere with sleep quality, reducing the production of leptin, the famous satiety hormone, and increasing ghrelin, the hunger hormone, leading to more hunger the next day. In practice, try to have your last big meal at least 3 to 4 hours before going to bed. If you feel hungry before bed, opt for a small protein-rich and carbohydrate-poor snack, like natural yogurt with cinnamon or a small portion of cottage cheese. Strategy 5. Include fiber in your diet. There are 2 main types of fiber: soluble and insoluble. Soluble fibers absorb water and form a gel that slows digestion, promoting a prolonged feeling of satiety. Insoluble fibers add bulk to stool and help with intestinal health. One of the main benefits of fiber for those who want to lose belly fat is its effect on satiety. Fiber-rich foods require more chewing, which gives your brain more time to register satiety. Additionally, soluble fibers form a gel in the stomach that reduces the speed at which nutrients are absorbed. Studies also show that diets rich in fiber are associated with lower levels of inflammation in the body. Chronic low-grade inflammation is linked to insulin resistance and visceral fat accumulation. Dietary fibers also function as prebiotics, feeding beneficial gut bacteria. A healthy gut microbiome is associated with better weight control. In practice, aim to consume at least 25 to 30 grams of fiber daily. Good sources include fruits, vegetables, legumes, and whole grains. A valuable tip is to gradually increase fiber consumption to give your digestive system time to adapt, and always drink plenty of water. Strategy 4. Have small meals throughout the day. When we consume very large meals, there is a significant increase in blood glucose and insulin, especially if these meals are rich in refined carbohydrates. Insulin is a storage hormone. It signals the body to store excess energy as fat. By splitting our eating, these insulin peaks are less pronounced. Another benefit of smaller meals is more efficient appetite control. Going many hours without eating can lead to excessive hunger, which often results in impulsive food choices. When we maintain stable blood glucose levels through balanced and frequent meals, we reduce the likelihood of dietary excesses. Smaller meals can also contribute to greater energy expenditure through the thermic effect of food. Every time we eat, our body spends energy to digest, absorb, and metabolize nutrients. In practice, distribute your daily calories in 4 to 6 smaller meals, spaced every 2 to 3 hours. An example structure would be complete breakfast, mid-morning snack, lunch, afternoon snack, dinner lighter than lunch, and end with a small, protein-rich night snack. It's important to emphasize that small meals doesn't mean constantly picking or eating processed food several times a day. Each meal, even if smaller, should be planned and balanced. Strategy 3. Be careful with sugary drinks. One of the most common and harmful mistakes I observe in people struggling to lose abdominal fat is underestimating calories from beverages. It's as if there's a blind spot in our caloric radar when it comes to liquids. Think about it. You would probably think twice before eating 4 teaspoons of sugar at once, right? However, a single can of soda contains approximately that amount, and many people consume these drinks without hesitation. The problem with liquid calories goes beyond their high caloric density. Studies show that our brain doesn't register liquid calories the same way it registers solid calories. When you drink a store-bought orange juice with 200 calories, your brain doesn't reduce your appetite in subsequent meals, as it would if you ate a whole orange. Sugary drinks are particularly problematic for abdominal fat due to their effect on insulin. The high content of quickly absorbable sugar causes significant insulin spikes, and you've already learned that chronically elevated insulin favors fat storage in the abdominal region. And be careful, because beyond the obvious sodas and industrialized juices, there are other liquid villains that often go unnoticed, such as specialty coffees with syrups and creams, smoothies with added sugar, alcoholic beverages, energy drinks, and sweetened ready-to-drink teas. The solution: always prioritize water as your main source of hydration, which already takes us to the next topic. Strategy 2. Stay properly hydrated. Fat metabolism, a process known as lipolysis, requires water to function efficiently. Without adequate hydration, your liver, which plays a crucial role in fat metabolism, needs to assist the kidneys in their detoxification functions, reducing its ability to metabolize fat. In addition, water has a significant effect on your feeling of hunger and satiety. Studies show that drinking about 16 ounces of water 30 minutes before meals substantially reduces caloric intake. This happens because we often confuse thirst with hunger. Adequate hydration also improves digestive function and helps prevent fluid retention, something that can mask your real progress in fat loss. Ironically, drinking more water helps your body retain less water. As for the ideal amount, the traditional recommendation is to consume 15 to 25 milliliters of water per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 154 pounds, consuming from 75 to 125 fluid ounces is the ideal range. Strategy 1. Control stress and sleep well. When we talk about strategies to eliminate abdominal fat, we usually focus on what is visible and measurable: diet and exercise. However, two of the most powerful factors in this equation are practically invisible: stress control and sleep quality. Chronic stress keeps cortisol levels high, the main stress hormone. Elevated cortisol for long periods has a direct relationship with abdominal fat accumulation, particularly visceral fat. This happens because cortisol signals the body to store central fat as an evolutionary response to danger. In primitive times, this mechanism was protective. Today, with our modern chronic stress, this same mechanism works against our goals. Additionally, stress frequently leads us to counterproductive behaviors: emotional eating, skipping workouts, and less general discipline. Parallel to this, inadequate sleep is a silent saboteur of your efforts. A single night of poor sleep can increase ghrelin levels and reduce leptin levels, creating a perfect storm for dietary excesses the next day. If you like this, and in addition to reducing fat, want to improve your muscle building, we're showing right now on the screen a video where we show 5 isometric positions that you can do directly from your home and will help your body build more muscle. Thank you for watching until here, and may God bless you, my friend.